Hello everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to the channel. Oh, we have such a fun video today because the person creating in today's video is not me. It is my daughter Aydia. She's 14 years old. We'll talk about that in a minute. But before we get into this super fun tutorial, I want to share our next live class. Registration is now open. And we have a very special guest teacher joining us this time, Tiffany Solario. She is incredible. And I am so excited about the alcohol ink techniques class that she's going to be leading us through. So lots of details in the link in the description box below. We'd love you to join us. If you're curious how much it costs, it is whatever you decide that you can afford. And so I want to make sure that we open it up to as many people as we can because the community aspect of it is so very important to me. All right, so that will be in the description box below. We hope you join us. All the details there. Let's get into this card tutorial. All right, as I mentioned, Aydia will be leading us through this card project today. Now, I gave her the supplies, just said, hey, pick from these and have fun. And I didn't tell her what colors to use. I didn't tell her anything about how to do this. So when I was editing the video, I really didn't even know she had put some of these steps into it. So it was really fun to actually be on this side of it. So, all right, I edited the video for her. She's just too darn busy right now with track and school and everything. So I was going to teach her how to do that too, but we just didn't have time. All right, so the first thing she's doing is she's taking out this first part of the stencil. This is a 4-part stencil from the new Lou Collins release. And it's gorgeous. Now, funny, I'm glad I just minded my own business because I would never have thought to do a monochromatic look with a multi-layered stencil. I just assume in my brain you should use different colors. But she went with all pinks. And wow, it came out, well, I don't want to spoil it, but she is going to go through, I've obviously sped this up, it's just 4 parts of a stencil, but you get this incredibly cool looking result. Now, I do have to make mention of this, that Aydia did her nails herself. Me personally, I couldn't function with nails that length, but she seems to be mastering it pretty well. She got a polygel nail kit for Christmas and she's been teaching herself and she's getting really, really good at it. So maybe one day I'll let her do mine. She did it first, I was like the second person she tried it on and it was awful. It's an awful experience. So I'm just gonna let her get a little bit more seasoned at it, if you will. All right, let's look at this card. This card is so pretty. So she's using also just a couple of supply things. She's using Distress Oxide inks and she's using the grip mat. It's clear, so you might not be able to see it. That is the Waffle Flower, I think the big one, the 8.5 one. And it keeps the stencils down. I actually really like this tool. I recommend it. You don't need it, but I'm just wanted to add that in there in case you were wondering what she keeps pulling off the stencil from, because it allows the stencil to stick to the grip mat and you don't have to use tape or magnets or anything like that. All right, so here we have, after the 4 pieces, the 4 different stencils, the final product. Look how pretty that is. Oh, that is just such a gorgeous background to get all those different layers and looks from that stencil. All right, so that's the background she's going to be working with here. Next up, she is going to pull in a die from the same release. So any large die, when you have a background that you don't want to fully cover, you want to make sure that you could see the background. I love large dies or sentiments, something, even if you stamped a large sentiment onto it and kind of kept it simple like that, looks really, really pretty. Oh, here's a close-up at her nails. She insisted that she show the camera. Her nails. Again, couldn't function like that. And if you do attend our live class, she's our executive assistant. I'm going to have to tell her to make sure she's not clickety-clacking all over the keyboard while we're in class with those nails. All right, so she chose the Love die here, which I think is just beautiful. And the great thing about this particular die is you can absolutely and easily use the positive and the negative of that die, which we will be doing. She's going to run this through some black cardstock. I think the white got lost a little bit on that background, so she wants a little bit more of a pop for it. I'm actually just making a lot of assumptions throughout this video because she is not here for me to ask clarification. But I think that it does provide a lot more pop with using a dark color on top. So she's going to use that. Now the rest of this, I know she's seen me do some of these techniques before. That's where she kind of got the ideas. But she did something new with a new embellishment. I'll show you. I've never done it. So she takes this glitter marker here, and you know, the glitter marker, if you didn't know, it can rub off on your fingers when it dries. It's just, it doesn't stay. So what she did was took some hairspray. This is just some extra hold Tresemme hairspray. And she took it off screen and sprayed it. And that did absolutely, once it dried, it absolutely sealed in that sparkle. So I know a couple people had been asking me about that. How can we prevent that sparkle from coming off? You can buy them, and I think there's like it's called fixative in an aerosol spray can, or try hairspray, and it works really, really well. So I wanted to make sure that add that. That's not her final look. In fact, it wasn't sparkly enough. I remember her telling me that. That's why she went with the embellishment at the end. But this part, at least, wanted to keep in there so you know you can seal that. Okay, so she's showing you it's not coming off. And I think that might a little sparkle here and there, but no, it seals it pretty well. So there's a hack. Now she popped this up onto her card panel with some foam tape. And this is I want to say a 1/4 inch foam tape, and laid it right down there. As she laid it down, I think she had made mention to me that it was not centered as much as she had wanted it to be. So after that, to fix that, to even it out just a little bit, she's going to cut off a piece of it. Pulling out the paper trimmer, she does just that until she's happy with it. So she feels like that is a little bit more centered. All right, next up are some embellishments. She pulled out this tray. If you don't know, I have a 5-tiered or 5-drawer tray full of embellishments. This is one of the drawers. And she's just gonna put some glue down, and Aydia, apparently, which I love, hasn't heard about the rule of 3. The rules of 3, where you put odd numbers, or the rule of odd, and it's not the rule of 3, it's like odd number of embellishments, which I don't really like to follow anyway. I know it draws the eye nicely, blah, blah, blah. But she just went for it and just put a whole bunch of sparkly stuff in the corners, which I love. Now here's something new that I have not done. I use glitter nail polish. You've probably seen me use it. I put it on a sponge, and then I add it to my projects. She took the glitter nail polish and just painted the entire love sentiment. Got lots and lots of glitter on it. I thought it was really, really pretty. And she even put some on the car. I think she started to put it on the backing and then decided against that. But I really loved that. I thought it came out really super sparkly and fun, and it was probably a little bit faster than using the sponge method, because the sponge gives you the middleman. But I do that with the sponge so that it soaks up some of the clear liquid. And so I don't get as many streaks on, let's say if I only wanted to put a little bit of that embellishment sparkle in certain places. But if you're going to cover the entire whatever, the entire sentiment, the entire image, I think you're fine to do it that way, the way she did it. So it turned out really nice. And there's a close-up so you can see all that sparkle. That glitter nail polish was $1.25 from the Dollar Tree, just FYI. Now we take the negative of this, and she covered it in the same fashion with the glitter nail polish. And I had a background, a couple backgrounds actually, of card panels I made a long time ago with ink smushing. Just some, I think it was Catherine Puller inks and on watercolor cardstock. Well, she took that and she went around with some purples and pinks and did a little bit of ink blending on the corners or the edges of it. And what I love about her choice here is it really, added a lot more color around the card, but I really felt like it also made it pop even more. So she's adding this black soot right at the very edges, and that gives a little bit of that shadow look, where it just, I don't know, it gives it like a 3D-ish kind of dimensional look. I think it looks great, and I love that she chose to do that. Yeah, so that is how she finished off the card panel. She's going to cut down the love panel here. Another reason why I really love dies like this, like large dies, really makes it so easy to use the positive and the negative. So this piece would be the negative, what's left behind. And when I was watching the video as I'm editing, and I noticed as she put it down onto the front, there was the O piece that we actually had still. And we kind of kept that off to the side. All she had to do was add more glitter nail polish to it, but we did not have the V part anymore. So she went and ran another panel through the die cutting machine, and she actually added that little piece of the O, which I had no idea to even have put that back. That right next to the O, that little piece there, it just ties it all together. I love it. So I'm glad that she did that. Looks really, really great in the end. So that will do it. These are the 2 cards that Aydia was able to make with the new release from Luke Collins. If you're interested in anything that she used or showed in the video, or to check out that new release, you can click on the description box of this video. You'll see links down there, and you can see them up close. I am so happy you joined us for this. I hope this was fun to have a little guest designer with us today. She's really coming into her crafty own, and I love that she has a good time when she sits down at the desk. I will see you hopefully in class if you are going to join us for the alcohol ink technique class with Tiffany Solario. I really hope you do. Just a couple more things about that. The dates and all the details are on the screen, but there's also prizes that we give out during class. So fun. That's my favorite part. And it's also, a replay is available. So even if you can't make the live, but you want to check out the video, register and you'll get all the information sent to you, and we will see you in class. Otherwise, I'll see you in the comments down below or in the next video. Bye-bye.